Ooh, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Darku, and in this video we're going to be building ourselves the perfect Audino. We're going to be making an Audino a 5x31, a 0x1, with a careful nature, hopefully cheaper than the lowest on the GTL. As you can see, the only Audino on the GTL anywhere close to the stats that I want is actually 2 million, which is way overpriced, and we're going to nail that target today. First of all, I just want to say I apologise if I'm a bit rusty. I haven't done one of these videos in a very long time, and it actually takes a lot of time to edit these videos to get all the pricing correct. If you've seen my content before, you know how we do this, but if you're new here, obviously we start from scratch as if we have nothing, so we can show you the full price listing to get all the egg moves, all the perfect IVs you want, and obviously, again, starting with nothing. The first thing we're actually going to do is put away our two main Pokemon that we usually have on us, which is my Luxray and my Gliscor, because we actually want to have a Pokemon out just like this Chandelier here, which has the ability of Flame Body to help us hatch the eggs faster, so this will help us from the get-go. If you have Donator status, that will help you hatch eggs faster as well, but I'm very infrequent with how much I play this game, so it's never worth for me to buy it. Anyways, moving on, the very first thing we're going to want to do is try and find an Audino on the GTL, which is obviously what we've done here. We're going to go to the advanced search. I'm going to make sure that we do not have a special attack, because I'm going to make this a 5x31 without the special attack, and we're going to make the special attack 0 on purpose. And there we go, there's a female here with 0 special attack for 5,000. So there we go, ladies and gents, we've now got our Audino, which we will start off with, which cost us 5,000. And now we're going to do the egg moves on it and then progress from there. Now, in order to see egg moves, if you don't know already, we're going to click the little Pokédex icon next to the Audino. And if you don't know where that is and you've closed this or something, you can just click on the very bottom right Pokédex anyway, and it'll reopen. And we're just going to go ahead and find Audino. Once you're on the summary then for Audino, you can go to the moves tab and scroll right to the bottom, and you'll see that it has a list of egg moves that you can learn. Now here's the kicker, you can only bring over 4 egg moves onto the main build, and as you can see there is obviously more than 4 here, so you're going to have to pick and choose. Personally, I'm going to go with Yawn, I'm going to go with Wish, with Lucky Chant, and Healing Wish as well. I may actually never use these moves, but you just never know, and as we want to build the Audino as like a full support and have basically 0 special attack, etc., we're going to go ahead for the careful nature later on down the line, but we're going to make it basically a full-on support build. The problem here is obviously transferring egg moves over onto this new Audino that we have. To get Yawn and Wish, we're going to have to get a Toga, and to get Lucky Chant and Healing, we're going to have to get a Clefairy. We're going ahead here and typing in Tog for Togetic mainly, and we're going to look for the 0 special attack. And then we're also going to go by price so that we can find the lowest price one. And if we click on here, you'll probably find that it has the move Wish. Now this is great, it already has Wish, which is one of the moves that we need, but if we look for the other move that it should have, which is Yawn, you'll probably find that we find 0 of them. So looking through the entire list, you can see that the only way to get Yawn on the Togetic is actually through being level 20. Obviously this was probably caught at level 53, you can actually check the status here. As you can see, it was actually caught at level 53. So it does have Wish, and it has to learn Yawn in order to pass it over to Audino, but we're going to have to use some heart scales and a move relearner to get Yawn back on this Togetic. We're going to go ahead and buy this Togetic then for 3,800. Now luckily for us, move relearners are in every PC in the game, or almost every single PC in the game, and they have the grey hair here, so we're going to talk to this person, relearn a move, and on the Togetic we just obtained, we're going to look for Yawn. Here we can see it's Yawn here, and it's going to cost us 3 heart scales, and I know for a fact I have none, so we're going to look on the GTL to see how much heart scales are actually going for. Unfortunately, it looks like we've done breeding at the wrong time, because 1 heart scale is now currently 10,000 each, which is pretty crazy. That has absolutely skyrocketed since the last time I looked at heart scales. Let's just say that was 30k. All that just to learn Yawn on a Togetic. But here we go then, we're going to relearn move, we're going to click on Togetic, and we're going to find Yawn, and obviously like I said, 3 heart scales cost, learn move. I'm going to get rid of something like Follow Me, and there we go. Togetic now knows Yawn. One shocker that could have been absolutely fatal to this video immediately is the fact that this Togetic is male. If I would have accidentally bought a female, it wouldn't have been able to breed with the Audino, and it would have been a pain to once again transfer these over. So if you're doing this just like me, or you're doing your own egg moves on a different mon, etc., or even if you're just watching it, don't forget you're going to need a male to breed with this in the first place. You can't breed 2 females. The brilliant thing about obviously just starting off with the 0 special attack on both of them is that we don't need to hold any items to transfer the IVs over. They will just have a 0 special attack no matter what. So there you go, you can see our Audino here and the Togetic here, female and male, and they're going to keep the special attack as 0, but you can see down here the egg moves that we have Wish and Yawn already on here. Don't worry about Last Resort and Hyper Voice, you can actually learn these via Audino anyway, it's not egg moves. But we want to focus on these 2, so we're going to go ahead and breed. We're going to go yes, and we do want to confirm what kind of gender we want, so we're going to go for the female gender. That's going to cost us 5,000 to make this egg. So this is once again starting us off with just an Audino with 0 special attack, but with at least 2 egg moves already on it. Now we're going to have to try and find ourselves a Clefairy, which has the Lucky Chant and the Healing Wish. What we're going to do is go to the global trade link. I'm going to look up Clef, because we could go for Clefairy, Clefable, Cleffa, we could see what we have as an option. I'm going to go ahead for advanced search, and we're going to go for Healing Wish. Putting us on the price list then, you can see that there's a lot of Clefairy with Healing Wish already, and now we're going to check the other move as well. So yeah, Lucky Chant looks like it's on the list as well. It would be nice actually to get something like this Particle as well within the build. It will cost us a bit more, but it'll be worth. I'm going to keep Cleffa at the very top then, and obviously keep Lucky Chant as its main move, but we're going to look for one that has 0 special attack. As you can see, there's one here with a Particle, in fact, of the Cake, which is great, and it's 25k, has 0 special attack, and has Lucky Chant, but does not have the other move that we need. The other move then is the Healing Wish, so we'll look at how to get that now. Okay, so in order to actually get Healing Wish on Clefairy, you need to be level 48, and obviously this Clefairy is level 40, so it can't learn it yet. We're going to quickly do an advanced search and see if we can find one with Healing Wish that already has Lucky Chant as well. Here we go, we have some here, not with a particle effect unfortunately, but this one does have Healing Wish here. Let's see the other ones to see if they've got anything different. Healing Wish, so unfortunately none of these on the GTL currently have Healing Wish as well as the Lucky Chant. So in fact we will go back, grab this Lucky Chant one with a particle effect, which is absolutely brilliant by the way, for the 25k. So 25k is not that much for something we're going to use for the special attack, as well as having the double moves on it. You know, 25k for just one breed, it seems like quite a lot early game, but it's actually not that bad. And it's the only one on the GTL. There we go, we got this Clefairy right here for 25k, and all we need to do is actually level up to 8 levels, and it'll actually unlock the other move that we need. We could use Candy, or we could just quickly EXP farm, which in theory costs nothing. And Blamo, Clefairy level 48 who wants to learn Healing Wish. Let's go! Get rid of Body Slam. There we go. Poor Pidgeotto's getting absolutely minced. As you can see, our Clefairy is now done level 48 because we've been here grinding some sweet scent horde killing. We can take the EXP share off now, and we will hide the chat. There we go. And Audino has actually hatched from the egg whilst we were doing that as well, so that's brilliant. So as you can see, Healing Wish is on there, Lucky Chant is on there, and our Audino has Wish and Yawn already on there as well. So we can go back to my favourite island and go and breed those two together. No, we can't because it's female. We found ourselves one here, a male for, let's just say 4,900. We're going to grab this right now. It's actually got really good stats, I'm not even going to lie. Luckily for us, Lucky Chant is only 1 heart scale, so that is a good 10k if we buy the 1 heart scale. And there we go, I actually had a spare heart scale, so we didn't pay anything for that, but I'll put it still on the board because that's how much it would have been of how much we've wasted. But now, finally, after all that wasted money, we do have a Healing Wish and Lucky Chant, which is the 2 egg moves that we needed for Audino. So now we'll have the Lucky Chant, Healing Wish, Wish, and Yawn if we breed them together. Well, I hope so. So here we go, yes. It will have the Wish, Yawn, Healing Wish, and Lucky Chant, but we're going to waste another 10k just to bring that 0 special attack over as a guaranteed. These videos are to new and experienced players. If you're new to breeding, of course, and you want to know how to bring that special attack over onto the next egg, you can go inside the breeding houses like so and talk to the lady at the desk there, just to our right, and she will sell you bands and bracers, etc., just like these ones down here. In order to keep special attack, we want the pinky purple one, so we're going to put that on our Audino to keep the 0 special attack into the next breed. As you can see, here's our Audino female with 0 special attack and the Clefairy male on the right side, but it's going to guarantee 0 special attack, and it will have Wish, Yawn, Healing Wish, Lucky Chant as its egg move, and this is the actual start of our main breeding part. We're going to go ahead and breed this and make sure that we pick female, and that's going to cost us another 5,000 just for the egg move part, and put that in a lovely little Pokeball and wait for that to hatch. Meanwhile, we're going to put the other Clefairy back on the market to try and make some money back. Obviously, I'm not going to put that in the video for profits, etc. But, you know, we're going to try and sell it. Hey, there we go, our Audino has now hatched. As you can see, it's got the 0 special attack, doesn't matter about the other stats currently. And on the move list, you can see we've got Wish, Yawn, Healing Wish, and Lucky Chant, which is exactly what we wanted. And on this extra tab, you can obviously see this bit, which tells you what egg moves you started off with, and everyone else can see how much effort you put in to get these. Luckily, they don't see how much money you wasted making mistakes on the way. Now comes the fun part then, where we add all the 31 IVs onto this Audino bit by bit, and obviously we're going to have to plan out obviously the full build, which a lot of breeders actually don't do, but I like to do it in my videos to show you how I can easily build something without making any mistakes. Other than the egg move incident with the gender. We don't talk about that bit, but other than that, we will be fine. The very first thing we're going to do is just add one 31 stat to this Audino, and then we will carry on from there. So if I haven't mentioned already, I probably have, but I'll mention it again regardless, you can click on the Pokédex tab of the Pokemon you want to breed, and in the bottom bit here it says the egg group is fairy. So that means that obviously we can breed it with any fairy type, which is a male fairy, or a ditto. So with that out of the way, obviously knowing that it's a fairy egg group, we can go ahead and go to the advanced search. We're going to go ahead and tick this hide female only species because we don't want that if we're breeding. We're going to go ahead and make sure we have 0 special attack on whatever we find. And we're going to go for the egg group of fairy, and we want the gender to be male. If we search and go by lowest price, you can see that we have this Snorunt right here, which has a 31 speed for only 3,000. And he is of the fairy egg group, obviously, and has 2 stats that we want. Again, 3,000, very cheap for that, genuinely, so we're going to go ahead and grab this Snorunt with speed. Now we have this Snorunt then, we're just going to keep the speed on it as we breed over, and we're going to need the blue brace for that. So if we breed these two together, you'll notice that obviously Audino will keep its egg moves, it'll still be Audino, we'll make it female, but it will carry this 31 speed over. Once again, we'll go to the breeder, and we're going to go ahead here and bring this up a bit. We're going to go, as you can see, Wish, Yawn, Healing Wish, the Lucky Chant doesn't get replaced. We are going to keep the special attack as 0 because it already has it on both parties without any item held. And the speed is going to be 31 because of the Snorunt. Now this warning is coming up because Snorunt actually has the hidden ability on it and Audino does not, and it's telling you that if you breed these two together it's going to lose the hidden ability. Unfortunately, Audino does not have a hidden ability in PokeMMO currently, so this is fine, don't worry about this. I'm going to choose the gender, female, and that's going to cost us 5,000 for that, and we're just going to quickly put that in a Pokeball. Now we're going to have to do the waiting game again and wait for Audino to hatch once more. And blammo, there you go, Audino is hatched and has the 0 special attack and 31 speed. Obviously kept the egg moves as well, don't worry about that. Now that we're starting off with the 0 special attack, but we have a 31 speed, I can now bring up the graph that I'm going to be using to set up the entire build for this Audino. This graph that you're looking at may look a bit baffling, but let me put Audino on the map for you, and obviously we're going to go ahead and buy some Pokemon in a second to add to the rest of the graph, and you'll see how it all connects. This graph specifically will give us a 5x31 Audino with a 0 special attack as well. So it's basically a 6x IV'd Mon, and we're going to see how much that costs. Obviously this is without nature, we're going to try and gamble the nature at the end, and if we don't get that then we can actually breed the nature into it afterwards. So what I actually like doing for this is getting a clear box just like this one and calling it something like breed, so I know exactly what's going on. And we're going to need 16 Pokemon to start us off with this entire build, and I like to put my Audino in there like this because, as again, if you look at the graph you'll see exactly why I'm doing this in just a second. Whilst we have our PC box up then, we're going to go to the GTL and start buying some Mons. The first thing we want to do is go to the advanced search, change the special attack to 0, as that's the one IV that we don't need to change specifically, but we actually want on the Mon every time. We're going to once again click on the hide female only species, and we're going to go for the fairy egg group. From here on then, you can see on the graph the Audino needs to breed with something that has the 31 defense. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and make sure we have a male as well. As you can see, we've got this Ditto at the top, and obviously it's not a fairy, Ditto is his own thing, but it can breed with obviously everything except itself. So you can see that it's got the 31 defense and the 0 special attack, it being the lowest. It's only 7,250. We're going to go ahead and grab that and put that with the Audino. Now I'll put on the graph whereabouts that Ditto will sit next to Audino, and then you'll start to realise how this graph comes into play. If you're also doing breeding just like this and you want to know how to get this kind of graph up, there is a website called PokeMMO Hub, which is amazing for this breeding scenario. Now that we have these two together, you can see that the next ones we need is special defense and defense. Obviously one needs to be male, one needs to be female, or you can have a Ditto and one can be any gender. As we're already on the defense page, what I will do is just take the gender off so it can be male or female, it will be the lowest price. So as you can see, with no gender, we've got this Pikachu here for 6,000, which has the defense of 31 and 0 special attack. We're going to go ahead and grab this Pikachu and put it in that slot, and now we need either a male or a Ditto special defense. We're going to go ahead to the advanced settings, get rid of the defense real quick, and just get the special defense of 31. I'm going to look this up, and as you can see, there's a Ditto right here. Or we can change this to be male specific, and you can see once again the Ditto is the cheapest here, and it will breed with the Pikachu. We've got a 31 special defense, so 6,800 for this Ditto right here, and that can go with the Pikachu. Once again, I'll quickly show you on the graph where they sit, and once again for you, the viewer, you can see how this builds up. Next in line, we need special defense to breed with an attacker. Obviously we're still on the special defense stat here, so we can grab something from here as well. I'm going to go ahead and grab this Ditto for 6,800 and just place it there, and now we need an attacker that can be male or female, just not a Ditto. And like so, we have a Marl here, which can be bought for 3,899, we'll just say 3,900, which has the 31 attack, and we're going to chuck that in right there. Next in line then, we need a defense breeding with an attacker, and obviously as you can see we're already on the attack list, so we can grab this Jigglypuff really cheap for 5,000, a female Jigglypuff, so we need a male or a Ditto defense to go with this one. And there's this Togetic right here, which has the 31 defense for, let's just say 8,000, because I'm not adding that specific number. 8,000 Togetic that can breed with this Jigglypuff. On the next line then, we have a special defense and an attack. We're going to go back to just putting a special defense in, like so. You can see this Jigglypuff right here, 5,000, blammo. And that needs to breed with an attacker, so we're going to go 0 on that. We're going to go 31 attack. We're going to go for male specific, so we either find the cheapest male or a Ditto. As you can see, Togetic, once again, grabbing that one really cheap and nice. Let me just see how much that was again. That was 5,800, and the Jigglypuff was 5,000, just in case future Darku couldn't keep up with the pricing tags. Next up, we need to breed a defense with a HP mon, so we can go ahead and do that. We're going to go for 31 defense first. We need to take the gender off because it doesn't really matter at this moment. And we can see this Marl here is the cheapest for 8,888, which is a very annoying number. Let's just round that to 9,000 once again, even if it looks more expensive. Now we're going to have to find a HP Pokemon, so we're going to go for HP 31. It needs to be either a female or a Ditto. We're going to go ahead and click female here, and you can see this Ditto right here is 8,400, and we're going to put those two together. I seem to have missed one on the graph. I can't see it personally whilst I'm building this. Obviously you'll be able to see it as a viewer because the editor Darku would have done this, but we're going to have to backtrack a second after we finish this last little one. So we need a HP and an attack to go together. Taking the gender off, we can go for the 31 HP looking first. We got this Togetic for 7,000, we'll say 7,500 for this Togetic. And we need it to pair up with an attacker, so we need attack and female gender, so either a female or a Ditto, and we've got this Skitty right here for 5,000. Now we're going to have to find out which one I've missed, because I have actually missed one here. We're already on attack, we're going to quickly take the gender off. Cheapest is 7,300, so we're going to go ahead and take that one. So we need to breed it with something that is a 31 defense that isn't a Ditto. It needs any gender as long as it can breed with the Ditto. And as you can see, we can see this Alpha Wigglytuff, which is only 11k, let's just say, and it's got 2 IVs and the 0 that we need. This is Actually kind of super cheap for what I need. We're grabbing this one, and that will complete our build. These are the 16 Pokemon that will eventually make a 5x31 1x0 Audino by the end of this breeding. What we're going to do now is basically buy all the bracers and bands etc that we need for like carrying over IVs. We're going to buy all of those, which are 10k a pop, and we're just going to put them on the Pokemon that you see in front of us. So that will be 160,000 added onto the total price, just for the bands of this first wave. There we go, ladies and gents, welcome back. As you can see, we're going to scroll through all of these and you can see that they've all got their respective bands on. Next up then, we're going to obviously breed these all together. I'm only going to take 4 at a time, and obviously they're going to breed together, so we're going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. Very first one is the Audino and the Ditto next to each other. As you can see, defense and speed, and obviously we keep the moves, so we're going to breed, and we're going to make sure that this stays a female, which gives us a 5k penalty, and we're going to put in a Pokeball. The next one up is obviously going to have to breed with Audino later on. So this will make a Pichu. Very annoying because it's going to be a baby Pokemon, and then you have to train it to not be a baby to then breed later on, which is honestly a pain in the butt, but we're going to have to do that. I'm going to breed this one, and we're going to force it to be male so it can breed with the Audino later. That's going to be 5k for that one as well. When we go back to the box, obviously we can put them in their respective places of where they were before. And we will once again do the exact same thing with these next ones. As you can see, the Marill and the Ditto together, we're going to make these ones a male off the bat. And you got the Jigglypuff and the Togetic, which we should have made male, but we've gone ahead and made those ones female for another 5,000. That's another baby Pokemon we're going to have to bring up, which is very annoying. Again, if I would have made that one male and the Marill female, that would have been much easier, but we love making life harder for ourselves. So now we're going to go ahead and do these ones as well, and we've kind of screwed ourselves with these two because no matter what, they're going to come out as the little baby Igglypuff or whatever, but it is what it is. So here we go, these two together, that's going to cost us 5 grand. That's going to cost us 9 grand in fact to make it male. I'm going to go ahead and do that and put it in a Pokeball. And these two as well put in together. Yes, we know about this. And we're going to make this one female for 5,000. In their respective places then, just like that, I'm going to grab these last 4 and we will try our best not to make the mistake of making more baby Pokemon, because they will actually be a pain to evolve later on and carry on the breeding process. So here we go, we're going to make these ones a male for 5,000, a little Marill. And the next one is Togetic and Skitty, and obviously the Skitty is the female, so it's not going to make a baby Togepi, so we're actually okay on that one. We're going to make this one a female as well for 5,000. So there we go, we have all the eggs in their respective places, and we're going to go ahead now and just skip ahead in the video where I just hatch all of these mons, and we'll be right back. Alright ladies and gents, as you can see we are back and everything is hatched. Our main biggest problem here is the fact that we've got 4 baby Pokemon with us. That is the Pichu and 3 Igglybuffs. This was a big mistake, obviously taking on any of the Wigglytuffs or Jigglypuffs, because they bring obviously these baby Pokemon with them. And same with Pikachu, how very annoying. We're going to have to literally grab these mons and try and remember which order they were in, and level them up to the point where they get so much happiness, and they'll evolve and then be able to breed again, because you cannot breed baby Pokemon, obviously. So we'll be right back after we've done that miserable triumph.
2 hours later.
Alright ladies and gents, we're back at the PC, as you can see in the breed box, and we have leveled up all the baby Pokemon to their first evolution so they can once again breed, because if you didn't know, baby Pokemon cannot breed in the game, and they've never have been able to breed in the games because they're babies, obviously. That's wrong. So you need to evolve them before you can breed them, and again we're going to have to do this a couple of times by the looks of it, because I've made the mistake of adding some Jigglypuff and Pikachu into this breeding line. It would have probably cost a bit more to keep it as Marill or Skitty, but I should have probably done that. In the hindsight, of course. If anyone ever makes me do another fairy breed, I'm going to lose my mind. Anyways, before we continue, as you can see, this Audino does have the defense and the speed. This should have the special defense and defense, etc, as you go across the graph. And you'll see that, obviously, like I said, I've updated the graph so you'll see. And now we need to breed these ones together like so. From this point on, we're just going to quickly add their bands. So respectively, the Marill has HP and defense. The Skitty has HP and attack, so what we would do in this case, attack band on the Skitty, defense band on the Marill, and then they would combine together to make it 3x31, 1x0, as you can see clearly by their IVs. That's 80,000 in Pokédollars. There we go, once again that was 80,000 we spent because it's 10,000 per band, and we've just put it on these 8 Pokemon. We're going to go ahead now and breed some of these. The Audino and the Pikachu, this Marill and this Jigglypuff all need to breed together, obviously separately, but the Audino and the Pikachu are together. We need to make sure that comes out as a female so we can keep the Audino line coming out. As you can see here, Audino, Pikachu, and it's keeping all of its moves, and it's going to have 3 × 31 plus the 0 because of the bands, etc. I'm going to go ahead now and breed that. We want it to come out female, like I said, so that's 5,000 for the female, like so. And it is going to breed with this next line, so we need this Igglypuff, very annoying, I know, it's another baby Pokemon. We need this to be a male Igglypuff, so we're going to go yes, male, 9,000 for it to be a male. I'm going to chuck that in a Pokeball as well. So the Audino egg we can put there, and then the other Igglypuff egg. And then we need to breed these Jigglypuffs together, and this Marill and the Skitty together. So Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff, Marill, and Skitty. What we really preferably want to do is have the Jigglypuff as a male, so we don't have to worry about breeding that anymore into the baby Pokemon. We're going to go yes on this one, and we're going to make it a male. That's going to cost us 9,000 to do so. And we're going to get this Marill and Skitty. Make the Skitty, and we're going to make this one a female on purpose as well for 5,000. Then we can, the next line across, we can make sure it's a Skitty. We don't have to worry about like evolving it, etc. through happiness, because that is awful. So Igglypuff egg there, and the Skitty egg there. What we will do now, real quick, is just go ahead and use our Chandelier, which we've put away, but we're going to bring that back out and go quickly hatch these eggs. Alright, ladies and gents, we are back with the hatched eggs that we needed, and they are nice and neat here. However, you will realise that we have 2 Igglypuffs, once again, that we have to go level. Fabulous. So we're going to go ahead and put them in our team. We're going to go ahead and grab our Luxray again for farming, and our sweet scenting Smeargle as well. So we're going to have to go do those, and evolve the Igglypuffs once again, and we'll be right back when that's done. Alright, ladies and gents, we're back at the PC in the breeding box. As you can see, we are on our last 4 Pokemon here, and we finally did the happiness for these Jigglypuffs as well, and it was an absolute excruciating, painful experience. We're going to add the last 4 braces here, because they're in order here, and obviously this will make sense on the graph once again that I'll pull up. We're just going to add the last 4 braces here, which will cost us 40,000. Alright, so there we have it. This Jigglypuff is going to breed with this Audino. This Jigglypuff is going to breed with this Skitty. Obviously, we're going to get the genders correct as well. We don't want to mess that up. And then we are on to the final stage. This Jigglypuff and Audino, as you can see, is going to be a 4 × 31, 1 × 0. And obviously, we keep all the egg moves that we originally had. So we're going to go ahead and breed. Obviously, the hidden ability is not coming over, but that's perfectly fine. We're going to make it female on purpose for 5,000. And the last one, this Jigglypuff and this Skitty also has a 4 × 31 with a 0 special attack, but without the speed. I'm going to breed these together and force it to be a male Skitty, which is going to cost us 9,000. And then we just need to wait for these 2 eggs to hatch. Alright, ladies and gents, we're back and the eggs have hatched, and as you can see there's a 4 × 31 and 1 × 0 on both the Skitty and the Audino. We're just going to quickly add the bands that we need to, which will be 20k in total to add a band to each one, as they are 10k each. And then from here on out, we could get super lucky and get one of the natures that we want. I will honestly be happy if Audino gets a plus defense or a plus special defense, or even a neutral nature will be really good as well. If we have anything like minus defense or minus special defense, etc., then we are not going to be happy with that, and it's going to cost us probably another 500k to correct that mistake. However, we could gamble the natures here. As I said, there's quite a few natures that we'd actually be happy with, so that's perfectly fine. So this is the final step, hopefully, and it won't be too expensive even with my mistakes early game. So our female Audino, as you can see, is in, our male Skitty is in, all of the egg moves that we wanted from the get-go are there as well. We got the 5 × 31, 1 × 0 special attack. Now I will say, I don't know if I mentioned this at the start, but you don't need 0 special attack, okay? You could have done this and done any special attack. You could go for 1, 30, 31, you could go any number on special attack, but the fact is you're never going to use special attack, so 31 special attack on Audino is just as good as 0 special attack. But for me personally, when I'm not using stats, I like to go for the 0 for the red marker kind of look, and I don't know why, I just prefer it. You don't actually have to do that at all. You could have probably made this build cheaper if you didn't do this kind of thing that I'm doing right now. But for me personally, I like to be a bit of a perfectionist. I could have done the 31 special attack as well if I wanted to, but again, it would have the same outcome. I really do like putting zeros on stuff that you're just never going to use. For special attack, it's not such a big deal. If you were a special attacker and you had 0 attack, that is a better and more suited stat to have 0 attack, so that you don't get hit by foul play, for instance, or hit by yourself in confusion, etc. The less attack you have as a special attacker, the better. But if you're an attacker, it really doesn't matter if you don't have special attack. It's just, again, for me personally, I like to go the extra mile and put the 0 in. It shows that you've done the extra bit of effort. It probably costs a bit more money, and you've put some love and care into it. Anyways, that's enough rambling. Let's get on with this. To finish this Audino, hopefully finish it, I'm going to go ahead and breed. I'm going to go yes, we're going to make it female again. I actually want to keep it female regardless on this breed specifically. But if you want to make sure that you get the correct nature no matter what, you want to go female as well. Because if you don't get the nature here, at least you can try and get a natured mon male and then breed it again to get the guaranteed nature. But if you make it male, it's going to be an absolute pain to try and find a female Audino once again with these kind of stats. We're going to make it female for 5,000. And there you have it. We're going to quickly put in a ball. Doesn't matter what it is right now because you can change the ball later. And we're going to head to a hatch location. And blammo, so here we are in Cyanwood, which is exactly where I wanted to hatch the egg. Again, this could come out of a bad nature and we just need to quickly rebreed it, etc. for the nature. But if the correct nature comes out, if one of the correct natures comes out, then we want to be in the correct breeding location. Alright ladies and gents, we're back with a Rash nature Audino, which is the worst possible nature we could have asked for. It gives a special attack and gives us a minus special defense, which is terrible. Now, there's 2 ways to go about this. I could go ahead and breed another fairy type mon male with the same sort of stats and the correct nature, which is going to be an absolute pain and probably cost me maybe just under 500k. Or you can look on GTL, which I imagine is not going to be too friendly either. So what we'll do here is we're going to go for the egg group of fairy, we're going for the gender of male, and we're going to type in 31 stats like we have and the 0 special attack as well. The minimum requirement of IV that matches, we only want that as 5, because we can carry all 6 of these IVs over with an item, even if we have a 5 match, if the other one has the nature. So this is what we're stuck with. Obviously, here's the natures we can go with if you really want to. Obviously, the best nature we can go for is Careful, so if we look for that specifically, there's this Breloom only for basically 700k, which is absolutely crazy. And I don't think we really want this one. I'm going to be honest, I don't think we want this. We could definitely do the nature and these kind of IVs for way cheaper than 700k. So although I didn't want to, that is our next step. Alright ladies and gents, here is part 2 of the video where we have our Audino with Rash Nature and the 6 IVs that we wanted. But although this has only been a couple of seconds in the video, I want you to know that it's been a month since I made part 1, so hopefully we're going to pick up where we left off. As we can see, if we go to the advanced search, look for fairy, male, careful, and at least 5 of the IVs that we want and search, we can find that the Breloom is still on the market for 700k because honestly it's overpriced. And it's the only one still. So I mean, it can be overpriced because it is the only one, but nobody's buying it. It started 24 days ago apparently. Obviously we're not going to pay 700k for something we could probably make for under 500. So this is what we're going to be doing in this part 2, is making a new breed which is male with at least 5 IVs that we need to carry on to the Audino with the careful nature as well. And if you're wondering, the Clefairy didn't sell. Shocker. But anyways, we're going to be throwing this back into the mix, so I don't even think it's actually a wasted thing, because it actually has the careful nature off the bat, and has 1 IV that we need already as well, so we could genuinely throw this one back in, and it won't be wasted money. Alright, so what we're going to do is actually put the Audino away, so that we know where it is. There we go, back in the breed box. We're also chucking the Clefairy back in the box as well to the top left, because this is going to be the one we're going to be using for the nature. So this is the careful nature we're going to be bringing over from the get-go. I'm going to bring up a new graph for you now in the editing. Woo, magic! And you'll see exactly where Clefairy goes on this list. And obviously what we want to do is actually make the Clefairy like male later on, because I don't want any more baby Pokemon to breed up, because they're an absolute nightmare. Part 1 of this video was actually 3 hours long that I had to edit down, so part 2 of this, I'm not doing it again. We're paying extra a little bit, just because we don't want baby Pokemon this time. So anyways, we're just going to crack on. As you can see, we've already got our Nature 1, which we bought yonks ago, and we're going to go ahead onto the global trade link and start looking for things we need. Here we go then, egg group we're going to have as fairy, as you can see here. We need a male gender to go with this Clefairy, and we're going to put it with a HP IV, but don't forget we're going for 0 special attack as well. We're going to search that up, and as you can see, You can click on the price to go to the lowest price, and we see this Pikachu right here with the 31 HP and the 0 special attack with 5k, so we're going to go ahead and buy that for now, and then chuck that next to Clefairy. In fact, what I'm going to do is chuck him underneath Clefairy so that we know that those two match together. The next thing we need to breed together is HP and attack, so we're going to quickly refresh, and you can see this Audino male is quite cheap for 5k, we're going to go ahead and buy that. One thing I also forgot on the advanced search is to hide female-only species, like Chansey for example. Another thing we need to go careful of is obviously baby Pokemon as well, like Clefairy. So obviously Audino, luckily enough, is not a baby Pokemon, so we can grab this Ditto right here for 4,500. Putting the Ditto underneath the Audino then, obviously that's going to make an Audino, we don't have to worry about baby Pokemon. Next up, we need another HP and attack. Now, as we're already on the attack page, I'm going to go a little bit ahead of these money bits here and go straight for the Shroomish. Although it's like 6k and it's a little bit more than everything else, we know that Shroomish is not a baby Pokemon, so you don't have to worry about raising the happiness later on. Once again, that attack has to go with a HP, so we're going to quickly just switch that back over, just like so. And we're going to try and find ourselves a male. And luck have it, a male Shroomish as well for 5k we can buy, and just chuck them together. The next part we need is HP and defense. We're already on the HP list, so we can grab ourselves this cheap Ditto. Looking at defense then, as you can see, this Shroomish female, obviously like I said, not a baby Pokemon, is only 3,000, let's say 3,900. That's super cheap actually. We're going to grab that and chuck it in. Alright, HP wise, we've got the Snorunt here for 5k, and obviously Snorunt is not a baby Pokemon either, so we can grab that. And males for attack, we've got this Hoppip here for, or let's just say 4k, because that's rounded up. And we'll put those two together as well. Next up, we need another HP in defense. So another HP, we've got another Snorunt, which is female, we'll grab that one. And for defense, we have this Hoppip here, which is also another 5k. Put those two together. So next up, we need attack and defense. Now, looking at these, you're seeing a lot of baby Pokemon here, and it goes up massively in price. So for the attack specifically, we're going to grab the male, like this Hoppip right here. And for defense female, we can grab this Ditto for 5k, and we can breed that actually with the Hoppip, and it should be fine. For our very last one, we need attack and special defense. We're once again going to grab the attack as a male, as it seems to be cheaper. So this Hoppip right here for 4,500 is our attacker. And we're looking for a female special defense. Obviously, like I said, Shroomish is a non-baby Pokemon, so we can have that for 5k right there. And that'll be our last one. So this is once again 16 Pokemon, but we are carrying a nature this time instead of all the IVs. So I'll put all these Pokemon on the graph respectively where they should be, and as you can see, after we breed all these 16 Pokemon together, by the very end we should end up with a 4x31 1x0 careful nature. So there we go, we're done with the market. What we're going to do now is add all the bands or braces to all these Pokemon. So that's 160,000 we're about to spend in making sure that we have the correct bands on every Pokemon. If you don't know already what those are, as I've said previously in part 1, these are like the braces right here, bracer, bell, anklet, etc., which hold one IV on a Pokemon when breeding. So obviously we're going to go get the respective ones that we need, chuck them on, and like I said, there's 160k. Alright, we're back, and I must apologise as it's not 160k, as I forgot that we are actually passing the nature, so it has an Everstone, not one of the bands, and as you can see, Everstone costs about 6.5k currently, instead of 10k, so a little bit knocked off of the 160k price tag. Now that we have all the mons with the correct braces on though, we will go ahead and start breeding them. Clefairy and the Pikachu, the Audino and the Ditto will take first, and obviously put them in their respective orders once we're done. So one thing I know is that this Clefairy is going to later on breed with this Audino, and I don't want to keep making Clefairy babies because they're just actually very frustrating to deal with. So when we put these in, we're going to actually force the gender to be male this time around for 9,000. Put that in a little Pokeball, and this time we're going to make the Audino come out female for a good 5k chunk, and then obviously later on we can breed the nature into the Audino, and then the Audino can carry on and not the Clefairy. Because honestly, breeding the baby Pokemon in this game is an absolute nightmare. So there you go, those two in, we're just going to do the rest of them as well. Here we go, the Shroomish and the Shroomish. We're going to make sure they are male for 5,000. The Ditto in the Shroomish, we're going to put together and make sure they're female for 5,000. The Snorunt and Hoppip, we're going to make sure they are male for 5,000. And the next one, same again, Snorunt, Hoppip, we're going to make sure they are female for 5,000 as well. In our last ones here, obviously the Hoppip right here with the Ditto, going to make sure that they come out as a male for 5,000 once again. And the very last one here, we're going to make the Shroomish for female and 5,000 again. So there we have it, all the eggs in their respective places. We're going to quickly go hatch them and we'll be right back. Alright, we're back with everyone hatched and in their respective orders. Alright, so I wanted to show you guys a little trick. Obviously, if you've got a baby Pokemon and you don't want to spend an eternity making sure that it can evolve with happiness, you can actually increase the happiness with berries. For this one occasion, obviously we're running the Careful Nature, which needs the Aguav berry or the Hondew berry to make it happy. I may have absolutely butchered that name, but we're going to go Aguav berry right there. Go for the price, and obviously they're like 920 each or whatever. Sure thing. Now usually the happiness is not this high, and we can just buy 11 of these, and that usually does it. We're going to buy 11 of these anyway, which will cost us about 10k, let's just say. As you can see here with our berries, we can use this on the Cleffa. Now I will actually increase this happiness by maximum so that we don't have to keep redoing this. As you can see, the happiness is 100%, so if we level this up once, it should evolve. There we go, this poor little Magikarp is making the grave sacrifice. Cleffa now level 2 and immediately evolving. So if you're breeding a Pokemon like Lucario, for example, who goes straight into Riolu, who counts as a baby Pokemon, and you're fed up of it and you want to quickly get that happiness up, I'm going to put all the berries that increase happiness, depending on your nature, in the description below as well if you're dealing with that issue. As you can see, everyone's now here, fully evolved, etc., and we can carry on with the breeding. So this Clefairy is going to go with this Audino, 2 Shroomish, 2 Snorunt, and this Hoppip with this other Shroomish. So putting this at the top, what we're going to do now is add 7 bands for the IVs, and we're also going to do 1 Everstone for this Clefairy to carry on with its nature as well. So 1 Everstone and 7 bands. And there we go, there's the 7 bands and the 1 Everstone. Not forgetting the Everstone is 6,500, not 10k like the rest of the bands. We're now going to take these ones and go and breed them again. So here we go, obviously because we made the Clefairy male and the Audino female, we no longer have to deal with the Clefairy being the one that makes the baby. We can now have the Audino as the baby with the particle, etc., which is really, really good. I'm going to go ahead and breed those two together and force it to be female, so we can keep Audino female. And we're going to do these Shroomish together as well and make sure that they come out male as they're next in line. Here we go with these now as well. We're going to make this one a male for 5,000, and the Shroomish and the Hoppip together as well. We're going to force the female for another 5,000. There you go, back in the respective box. We're going to quickly go hatch these and be right back. Alright, ladies and gents, we're back once again, and we have this natured Audino we're going to put with this free IV Shroomish, and this free IV Snorunt we'll put in with the free IV Shroomish as well. We're going to quickly band up 3 of these Pokemon and also put the Everstone on Audino. So that's another 36,500. And there we have it, so we're going to quickly go breed these last 4 together. The Audino and the Shroomish, like so. And we want to make it female once again. And then the Snorunt and the Shroomish together as well. We're going to force as male, don't worry about the HA. For another 5,000. We're going to quickly wait for these to hatch. Alright, ladies and gents, we're back once again. As you can see, the Audino with Careful Nature and 3 IVs, and the Shroomish with 4 IVs. No nature is going to breed next. So for this we're going to need another Everstone, which is 6,500. And we're going to need a special defense band, which is 10,000. We're going to breed these two together, but this is the last step for the nature. So what we're going to do for this, as you can see, we're bringing this over to the right a little bit. We'll put the Audino and the Shroomish in. And now you can see everything that I can see, obviously. So we've got the HP, the attack, the defense, the special attack, and the special defense at 31 or 0, exactly how we need it, etc. And we have this Careful Nature. All we're missing is the speed. So what we'll do is, this Audino that comes out, we're going to force as a male that'll have this nature plus 5 IVs correct. What we'll do then is breed it with the other Audino that we have, female, with all the IVs and no nature, and obviously we'll band and Everstone once more. We'll obviously put this into play so you can see what I mean. Breed these two together, like I said, and force a male for 5,000, and then we're going to wait for this Audino egg to hatch. Alright, ladies and gents, we're back. As you can see, the top Audino being male with the Careful Nature and the particle effect, very, very nice. And having the 5 IVs that we wanted, as well as next to our other Audino that we whipped out the box, who had the Rash nature, which is obviously the wrong one, and all the IVs we wanted as well. So I'm going to quickly show you the last step, obviously, but as you can see, we've got another Everstone here, which cost us another 6,500, and if we look at the IVs, we're going to be bringing the speed from this one over, so we're going to grab the blue band so we can grab the speed, like so. And now if we go up to the Breeder Man and put them in, As you can see here, we've got the 31 IVs times 5, the 0 times 1, which is exactly what we wanted. It has Wish, Yawn, Healing Wish, Lucky Chant, and the Careful Nature guaranteed as well with our OT. So this is the absolute perfect build Audino, and I cannot believe we managed to actually whip up that Clefairy with the particle effect back into this breed. That's actually crazy. We're going to go ahead and breed. We're going to go yes, we want it female for 5,000. And we're just going to put it in a Pokeball for now, no problems, and then we're going to make our way to where we want to hatch it. Boom! So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, there is our Audino, with the Careful Nature, which is exactly what we wanted, and all the perfect IVs, as well as even having the Anniversary Cake Particle Effect. We actually got this for super cheap way back when we first got the Clefairy and stuff, and I'm so glad we were able to put it back into the breed. That's actually crazy. Obviously we got all the moves we wanted as well. We got Wish, Yawn, Healing Wish, and Lucky Chant, which is the 4 egg moves that I chose. And obviously you can always see it on this little egg here, which will let you relearn them whenever you want. Figy is also born in Cyanwood City as well, and one of the things I want to do is click on the little Pokeball and change the Pokeball as well to a little Luxury Ball, as it's one of my favourite Pokeballs, and we're also going to change the name to Eliza. So whether you know or not, Eliza is actually one of the GMs of PokeMMO, which is a top moderator essentially. So a lot of people would know her as a GM or a mod, but I know her as my friend. It might sound kind of sad, but I've been going through a lot of things over the last couple of weeks, and Eliza's really been there for me as a good friend. So this Audino has a lot of memories for us, as we used to do the Battle Tower together too, and there was one time where her Audino, who only had like 6 IV attack I think, actually won us the Battle Tower, and it was pretty crazy. And that was just sort of a memory sort of sealed in. Not only that, but obviously Audino is a great support Pokemon and can learn something called Simple Beam, which will be later used for fights like Ho-Oh. That's for another video though, of course. There you go, ladies and gents, the perfect nature, the perfect IVs, and the perfect egg moves as well, and with the perfect name in my opinion. Also hatched in the location which Eliza likes the most. So I hope you liked this video, maybe you learned something, maybe you even bred your own Audino, or maybe another Pokemon but you're watching me start on the other monitor or something, you know? I know I've been absent recently, but I will be trying to make more and more PokeMMO content real soon. I hope you enjoyed this one, hopefully it wasn't too long. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and all that business, and if you share it everywhere, well, I'll love you even more. I appreciate you. See you on the video, guys. See ya!